Hey friends, Merry May and Happy International Workers' Day. Today I want to talk about the sick out that's happening today with Amazon, Trader Joe's, Target, and Instacart. Those are the ones I know of. There might be other companies whose employees are participating in sick outs today, and I hope that you'll join me in supporting them by not purchasing goods and services from any of those companies today. It's interesting to me and upsetting to recognize that in this time with coronavirus and all of the changes that have come about, that the workers who all of the rest of us depend on, their labor and their going to work and all of the activities of their work that all of the rest of our lives depend on, these essential workers, that they are the workers whose time and efforts and really lives are least valued by our modern society. That feels really wrong to me. When I think about all of the people I know and how hard they work, I know that the people who make really high executive salaries are not working harder than the people who are making minimum wage and doing really supportive activities like custodial work in offices or warehouse work or stocking shelves at grocery stores. All of these jobs that as a society we really don't value, but ironically they are exactly the jobs that we most rely on day to day. The rest of the work is sort of gravy, and yet it's the gravy that we are most willing to pay for. And that doesn't feel right to me. My hope is that one of the things that can come out of the socioeconomic changes as a result of coronavirus is that we can more fairly value the work, the labor, and truly the lives of people at all levels of our economic system. Why don't we already? I have a theory about it, and it's a theory that really goes to understanding bias and how biased thinking works. We're all biased. We all have biases. Biases are part of how we survive. And our most fundamental bias is in the direction of humanity. But for many of us, we sort of then have biases for categories of humanity. And I think that modern capitalism has trained us all to be biased in favor of the wealthy and well-off. And the way that it does that is by getting us to identify with those people. I think it's very easy to look at the wealthy and the well-off and even the super rich and sort of imagine how wonderful our lives would be if we had that kind of financial resource. And in a sort of wishful thinking way, we align our identity with the people who are better off than as compared to the people who are worse off. And this ultimately serves capitalism very well, but it doesn't really serve humanity, and it doesn't serve individual humans. We know by looking that all of our lives are intertwined with the lives of people all around the globe, and certainly people of all economic strata in our communities. And yet we separate ourselves from each other. And one of the things that I am working on today and every day is linking arms with humans, because as far as I'm concerned, the whole point of a social system and a society is to support everyone in that society. The U.S. is incredibly wealthy and resource rich, and there's no reason that we can't support everyone, that we can't be providing Medicare for all, that we can't be providing a universal basic income, that we can't have a meaningful social safety net. And in fact, if we had those things, it would cost us less money and we would, as a society, be better off. It might mean that the super rich would be slightly less super rich, but no one needs billions of dollars. There's no way to spend that kind of money. And accumulating it in the way that people like Jeff Bezos do it's fundamentally a sickness in the system. It's not actually a problem of Amazon or of Target or of any individual company, Those are symptoms of the larger sickness of how we have structured our economic system. And we can choose to structure it differently. We can't choose to ignore germs and pretend that a virus doesn't exist, but we can choose to make different choices about how we support people, how we value work, and what constitutes the role of government and society. I hope you'll join me today and every day in backing the workers who are participating in a sick out today, and in looking for ways to move the system in a more human, supporting way, which means including the environment. It means including all humans, both in the US and out, people of color, white people, wealthy people, poor people. We ultimately are all in this together. And the more we separate ourselves, the more we let the system of valuing capital over humanity be the winner. It doesn't have to be this way. And I hope you'll join me in working to make a better world.